If you're looking for some super easy sweets, you are in the right place. You can make these for yourself or to share with your friends and family. Hey y'all, I'm Valerie and welcome to my kitchen. In today's video, I'm sharing 5 no-bake sweet treat recipes you can make for Christmas. Okay y'all, let's get started. These oatmeal cream pie truffles are definitely something that I'll be making again. You'll need a 12-count box of oatmeal cream pies. I unwrapped all 12 and added them to the bowl of my stand mixer. Now we're going to mix them really good and mash them all up. And what you're looking for is for these to be able to hold their shape when you press them into a ball. Now some of the recipes called for just the oatmeal cream pies like I'm using here. And some called for the addition of some like cream cheese frosting. But only like 2 tablespoons, and I wasn't sure I wanted to open up a can of frosting just to use 2 tablespoons. But these seem to hold together really well for me, so I just went with it. And all that's in here is oatmeal cream pies. Now you're going to need a cookie sheet to place these on. And I'm using my cookie scoop. It's a 1.5 tablespoon cookie scoop to scoop these into balls, into little truffles. And I rolled them in between my palms to get them really smooth. You're going to continue until you've used up all that dough or all that mixture. Now we're going to pop these in the refrigerator to chill for about an hour or 2. When they were good and chilled, I was ready to dip them. I melted down about half of a package, which was like 12 ounces of the vanilla Almond Bark. But you can also use white chocolate chips for this. And we're just going to dip them and kind of tap off the excess and then place it back onto the cookie sheet. By the way, I just did an oatmeal cream pie cheesecake that was absolutely delicious. That was in a video a few days ago, and someone had mentioned instead of doing the oatmeal cream pies to do fudge rounds. And I think it was Cindy. So Cindy, thank you for that brilliant idea. I'll definitely be making some fudge round truffles and a fudge round cheesecake. Okay, so about these truffles, they were delicious. But next time I make them, I felt like they needed a tad bit more moisture. So I am going to try using about 2 tablespoons of cream cheese frosting, or you could even use a couple tablespoons of marshmallow fluff. I think that would be really good. But the flavor in these was amazing. We all loved them. I just think they would be even better if they had a couple tablespoons of frosting or marshmallow fluff in them. I seen Mama Mel make these Ritz cracker thin mints a couple years ago, and I've been wanting to try them ever since. In a small bowl, you're going to add in a package of Andes mints. This is like a 4.67 ounce package. It has 28 little Andes mints in here. You're going to unwrap them and microwave them in 30-second intervals until they're completely melted. Now when Mel made this, she used 3 of those packages, so she ended up with a lot more, but I just had to try them, and I had 1 package of Andes mints on hand, so I went for it. Okay, when you get those all melted down, you're going to grab a cookie sheet lined with some wax paper. You're also going to need some Ritz crackers. And yes, Andes mints and Ritz crackers may sound like a funny combination, but trust me, it works. And I mean, how easy can you get? So all you do is drop in your Ritz cracker and cover it up with chocolate, tap off the excess, and place it on your cookie sheet. And they really turned out a lot better than I even expected. And Mel did suggest dropping the Ritz cracker in and spooning the chocolate over, just because the salt on the top of the crackers, you don't want that all mixed in with the chocolate, so I tried to do it her way. She's a pretty smart cookie anyways. I love her to pieces. And you'll want to put sprinkles on these if you're putting sprinkles on. You'll want to add them before the chocolate has time to set up. And of course, I was excited about trying these. So I popped mine in the refrigerator for about an hour until they were completely set. Now from one package of the Andes mints, I got a total of 16 Thin Mints. But I'm sure if you tap off a little more of that chocolate, you could stretch it out even further. These were absolutely delicious. I do still want to try it though with just a regular chocolate and peppermint extract added. I do think it'll be good, I just don't think it'll be exactly like the Thin Mint flavor. And these are not exactly like the Thin Mints, but they are pretty close to it. I wanted to try a sweet Christmas snack mix, so I went digging through my pantry and pulled out a bunch of cereal. And I also broke out the scratched, broken Dollar Tree bowl here, only because you're going to need a really big bowl. Now to that bowl, I added 2 cups of Honey Nut Cheerios, 2 cups of the Rice Chex, 2 cups of the Corn Chex, 2 cups of the Honey Graham cereal, 2 cups of pretzels, and 2 cups of M&Ms. And I'm using a mixture here of the regular and the mini. Now you're going to melt down a 24-ounce package of vanilla Almond Bark. And I did decide to give all that cereal a really good stir before I added the chocolate. Now you're going to pour it all in and make sure you get it all. And when you get it in there, you're just going to give this a really good stir. Toss all that cereal around until everything is completely coated in that chocolate. By the way, I have a savory snack mix recipe, kind of like a homemade Chex mix that I just found that I am so excited to try. And I'm sure that'll be in an upcoming video, so be on the lookout for that. Oh, I did want to mention, you can also add about a cupful of nuts to this mixture. That would be absolutely delicious, but we had a couple here that don't prefer nuts, so I didn't add them. I did separate this into 2 trays though, and thinking back, I wish I would have added nuts to the other tray and left one plain. Now, they're delicious either way, but something about adding the nuts just gives it a little something extra. After I got half of that mixture poured onto a wax paper lined tray, I added on some M&Ms. You can add sprinkles or whatever you like. But you do want to do that immediately so they'll stick. And now here I'm just doing that second tray, the other half of that mixture. You're going to spread it out into an even layer. And with this one I got a little more creative. I think I did add a little what I had left of M&Ms because I was out. So I grabbed some sprinkles and started adding sprinkles. It just gives it a little more pop of color. Oh, and I did want to let you know, I have just a tiny bit of bonus footage at the end of the video, just in case anyone is interested. Now you can let these sit out on the counter to completely chill, or if you're in a hurry, you can pop them in the refrigerator. This was so good. It was simple. It was a great snack mix. It was something that everybody enjoyed. Oh, and feel free to change up the cereal in this. Just use what you got on hand. Or use whatever you think would be good in it. I think Cinnamon Toast Crunch would actually be really good in this. And my friend Sammy Mae just made this and she used Captain Crunch. I think that would be delicious. I'm making my family's favorite Crockpot Candy. This is a really easy dump and go recipe. I sprayed my Crockpot with nonstick spray. Now I'm adding in a 16-ounce can of salted peanuts and a 16-ounce can of unsalted peanuts. And those were both the dry roasted. Now you're going to add 36 ounces of white chocolate almond bark, or the vanilla almond bark. I used 1.5 packages. You do want to break them up into small pieces so they melt faster. And here I'm adding a 4-ounce bar of German chocolate. I'm also adding a 10-ounce bag of the peanut butter chips. If you can't find these though, you can just substitute with more chocolate chips. And to finish it off, you're going to add 16 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Now I'm covering this and setting it to cook on low, anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. This is my older crock pot, and it does get a little hotter than the average crock pot, so mine only took about 1 hour. You only want to let it cook until that chocolate is completely melted. And you do want to stir it occasionally just to make sure it don't stick on the bottom or burn on the bottom. And when these are done, stir them really good and just spoon them onto a full lined cookie sheet. I used the cookie scoops so they were all about the same size. And if you're adding sprinkles, go ahead and add them before the chocolate sets up. These turned out so cute. I love the holiday sprinkles. And you could really change up the sprinkles for any holiday. These are definitely one of my all-time favorite candies. I seen these peanut butter Meltaways on TikTok and I had to try them. I'm using a 12-ounce package of the white candy melts and a 12-ounce package of the chocolate candy melts. And I am cooking these over a double boiler just because I did not want to take a chance on burning them. Now I'm adding 12 ounces of peanut butter. And make sure you use the creamy for this. So I used 3/4 of that 16-ounce jar. Now you're going to stir all this together until everything is completely melted. And yes, I started out with that rubber spoon there and quickly had to switch to a metal one. I'm really not sure what I was thinking. And you do want to stir this very often because you do not want it to burn. By the way, this recipe makes a lot, and next time I'll definitely cut it in half. Now when it's melted, you can carry it over to the counter. I've got these little candy molds here. I've got some that are Christmas trees, and I also have some that are little gingerbread men. This was definitely a terrible purchase. I am not sure what I was thinking that I was going to sit here and spoon this chocolate into those teeny tiny little molds. And then you got to go back with a toothpick and kind of work it to the corners so there's no bubbles. And here I am 2 hours later, I finally got them all filled up. And I still had more to do. I still had more chocolate left, so I had to fill up those gingerbread men too. And I went digging in my cabinet and found this mold. It's a lot bigger. But I kind of got smart when I did the gingerbread men. I ended up pouring it all over that mold and then spreading it out with my offset spatula. I did have to go back with a toothpick though and make sure I got it all the way into the arms and the legs. But I'll tell you, when I make these again, I'll definitely use the cube molds. They were like 1.5 inch squares. Oh, and I had some sunflower molds too, so I used those also. Now, don't get me wrong, the gingerbread men and the little trees were absolutely adorable. I mean, they were the cutest. But they were very, very time-consuming trying to fill up those molds. But this chocolate turned out delicious. It's like the inside of a Reese cup. And with the little cube molds, I just got smart, and to make them look a little fancy, I drizzled over some white chocolate. And I thought they just looked perfect. And this candy is chocolatey and peanut buttery, and it's very, very soft. It's delicious. I really hope you enjoyed this video. You may also like these. Don't forget to subscribe down below for more easy recipes. Oh, and I want to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. I love you all, and I will see you in my next video. Say hey, everybody. Tell them hey. You can wave hey. Blow them kisses. Come on, let's blow them kisses. Come here. Come here. Okay. Blow them kisses. That's precious. Oh, mercy. They got all kind of kisses. That's so sweet. Say Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye. Say bye-bye.